Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's your host, Shane Guilford, and you've joined us for round 9 of the V8 League for 2024 for SimHaus Racing. And we are so excited. We're into the Enduro rounds now. And tonight we are racing at Sandown Raceway. Located in Springvale, Victoria. We usually race the Wednesday nights before. But this week we are racing after the real event. And we are racing at Sandown, brand new track for us, thanks to Andreas 1968. He's kindly let us use the circuit for tonight's racing, so we hope you enjoy. Beautiful circuit to drive on and visually stunning as well. If you do want to download the track yourself, the link is in the description, or you can go to his website as highlighted above, and then go on to the mandatory donation tracks. Click on Sandown Raceway 2023, and then scroll down, make a donation via PayPal, and then you'll receive a link to download the circuit. So thank you to Andrea for the use of that. Make sure you get on there. If not, just donate on the tab on the top of the screen as well on his website. Before we get to the formalities on the circuit, we'll bring you the season standings. Actually, we've still got the data for today. It is our Enduro. It is round 9 of 12. 80 laps tonight, each lap consisting of 3.104 kilometres. Pretty much 2 straights and a couple of turns. That's pretty much it. The guys have got fuel burn and tyre burn, so it's a race of strategy tonight as well. Relatively green circuit, so the boys will be rubbering it up during tonight's session. So looking forward to that, bit more grip and excitement. So let's go to the season standings. It's currently Wayne Walker on top with a very dominating season. Unfortunately, he didn't win last round. That one went to Craig Broadbent. And the only movements in the top 10 was Craig Broadbent moving up just ahead of Justin Bryce from New South Wales. And you can see there on the points, 90, 89 and 81, very close. And Paul Robinson not too far as well. James Spotto remaining in the top 10. So, back on track, we are currently in qualifying. So currently watching Craig Broadbent, 2023 current defending champion with SimHaus. He's in the Snowy River Ford Mustang, currently in P4. 4 minutes to go in quali. It is currently Wayne Walker up on top as dominating practice session all week long and showing a clean pair of heels at the moment ahead of his teammate Alex Kiddis from Wayne's World Motorsport. Daniel Opedasano's in the pits at the moment in P3, coming out for his outlap. Then we've got Paul Robinson joining us, currently 3rd on the championship table. And he is showing strong performance, currently in P5. Scotty Flack had a great session in the NASCAR League a couple of weeks ago, dominating at Montreal. So he's here to try and do it again in the V8s in front of the Aussies tonight. So hopefully Scott Flack, currently in P6, gets a good clean lap. Currently on his outlap, so he'll be taking this corner nice and easy, get a good run down the main straight and maximise his qualifying potential. Crossing the start-finish line. His target is a 106.990 set by Wayne Walker from Wayne's World Motorsport at the moment. 13 guys on track. Justin Bryce had to restart his PC right on quali restart, so he'll be joining us towards the end of the qualifying session. We've got Rob Logan joining us as well. Rob and Neil Haynes, both teammates in the Truck Assist Holden Camaro. And very exciting news in real life. Not too sure if it's true or not, but looks like Toyota will be joining the V8 Supercars from 2026 onwards. So that's very exciting news for the sport, I think. Keep the sport interesting. Currently still Chevrolet and Ford competition. It'd be nice to get some other manufacturers in there. Rob Logan currently in P7 at the moment. Eric Chandra in the new livery for tonight. He's in P8. James Spotto on his flying lap. We'll see how Scott Flack's doing towards his. It looks like he's on another outlap. He's pulled that one short and he's started again. So James Spotto coming around. We'll go on board with James Spotto, showing you how it's done on circuit. Coming down the back straight, located around a horse racing circuit in the centre. The longevity of this circuit's always in question, being valuable real estate in Victoria, Melbourne. Oh, he's just gone wide there. So we'll follow Andrew Chilui in P10. Got a new setup at home now, so he's wanting. This will be his first race on the new rig, so he's still coming to grips with a new equipment, new car, and he's overshot it there as well. David Baker playing it nice and easy in the pits at the moment for Kmart Racing. And we've got Troy Chislaki from Queensland, currently in P13, starting his hot lap. So with 22 seconds to go, you want to make sure you're crossing that line and starting your quali lap before that checkered flag comes up in the top left-hand corner. So Troy's able to finish this lap, see if he can improve on his 110 at the moment. In the Ford Mustang, Dick Johnson Racing Shell Helix car. There's a checkered flag, so whoever hasn't started their hot lap now, it'll be too late. And already Troy is a second down on his opening sector. He's up on the second just, he's PB, and he won't be finishing that one. Neil Haynes crossing the line, he won't be able to finish that lap. So we'll see where Wayne Walker is. He's pulled up. Scott Flack will be up in a P5 he managed to get. Eric Chandra coming around for a bit more practice as the boys are still joining. We've got one guy trying to restart, and that's Justin Bryce. And it looks like he's just made it in at the end of qualify. All right, so the results are Wayne Walker will start on pole for this 80-lap race, next to his teammate Alex Kittis with a 107.272. Daniel Opedasano's second row will be side next to Craig Broadbent. Scott Flack moving up into P5, getting on the third row with Paul Robinson. Then it'll be Rob Logan, Eric Chandra on the fourth row. Fifth row will be James Spotto, Andrew Chilui making it into the top 10. And then we've got David Baker with a 109.3, saving himself for the race itself. Neil Haynes, Troy Jaslowski with a 110.9, and Justin Bryce just squeezing in there for end of quali. All right, we'll go to a commercial break and come back. Stay tuned. 80 laps after this. See you soon. All right, welcome back, ladies and gents. It's the start of the 80 lap race. We'll quickly go through the qualifying results. It'll be Wayne Walker starting on pole position next to his teammate Alex Kiddis, Daniel Opedasano, Craig Broadbent, all right, the guys have got 1 minute to grid up, get their fuel ready and tyres ready. Looks like we're good to go. Good luck, guys. This is going to be a long race. Big launch off the grid. Wayne Walker getting a flyer. Daniel Opedasano snoozing there a bit. Broadbent up into P3 through turn 1. Spotto up the inside. I can see Chandra going around the two. Rob Logan, Paul Haynes, Neil Haynes, Andrew Tulleri, and that's Justin Bryce off in the background. We'll see what happens with Justin Bryce on this one. Looks like Baker got into the back there. As he rejoins in P14. Back up front, Wayne Walker, Alex Kiddis, Broadbent, Opposano, and that is Paul Robinson up the front. Flack just falling off a little bit, and he's trying to rejoin a little bit of a gap there, but he's out there on his own as he's got Chandra and Logan behind him. Craig Broadbent defending off Daniel Opposano at the moment. It's a long game. It's 80 laps this one. We're only in lap 2. Thank you for joining us. Looks like perfect sunshine as well. No rain predicted for this race. We had rain last year as Opposano goes up the inside. And he's right there side by side. Can he get there, or does Craig defend? It's too early to make those decisions. And Opposano moving up into P3 now. Walker and Kiddas starting to stretch out. But it'll be up to Opposano to bridge that gap as the field's building up. Flack now on the back of Robinson. And that's leaving Logan about a second behind with Spotto. Looking down the straight, it's Spotto, Neil Haynes, then Chalui, and Antonis Papanopoulos from Greece is already up into P11. No practice, just straight in. Oh, Chalui up on 2 wheels there as he comes through, chasing Neil Haynes for P9. On board now with Andrew Chalui down the back straight, chasing Neil Haynes in the foreground. Got to brake early, down a couple of gears, get that inside, come over the ripple, and then just keep a straight line braking. Stay out wide, second gear. Takes a tight left-hander, back on the gas nice and early. Tyre wear and fuel wear the key here. So the strategy, Chalui just avoids clipping the back of Rob Logan, very tight there. Back up the front, it is Wayne Walker, Alex Kiddas. Then further back, Opposano, that gap is 2.3 seconds at the moment. See if that decreases as the laps go on. He's managed to pull himself away from the group behind. Craig Broadbent, Paul Robinson and Scott Flack coming through there at top speed, up over 270 kilometres an hour as they get in the brakes. Oh, it's three-way. We've got Troy Jaslowski, Eric Chantra and Justin Bryce. We've got an accident up front. That looks like that is Antonis Papanopoulos from Greece racing there in the Coca-Cola car. Already up into the top 10 without even doing a lap. He's managed to stay out of any trouble and moving himself up. David Baker copping a pit lane penalty coming out of pit lane. That's going to be the end of his night. Just needs to knuckle down. He's got 75 laps to work his way through the field. Serve that penalty early. As we see the front really stretching it out now, probably on super softs. Broadbent and Paul Robinson. Robinson in P5 now, coming through that corner, really nice. You see him close the gap on the back of Broadbent. Where's his strengths? We'll be able to see it from this camera. Under brakes, you see the front just diving in, getting in that switchback, taking that turn nice and easy. Sitting in the draft, will he be able to gain? He definitely gaining on the back of Broadbent. Will he be able to pull out? under brakes. He gets the job done. Can he pull it up in time? And Paul Robinson moving up into P4. All right, Chiloui's got Papanopoulos for company down the back there as they come down the back straight. Antonis showing us in the NASCAR League a couple of weeks ago how strong he can be in the heavy V8s. He can definitely wrestle these as Chiloui just goes wide, allowing Antonis to take P9, moving up into the top 10. Inside the top 10, Chiloui back to P10, taking those curves quite aggressively. All right, so further up the field, it's still Robinson and Broadbent battling it out. And here comes Scott Flack as well. Both Broadbent and Flack. And it looks like Rob Logan's closing in on this group as well. So we head down the back straight. This corner's really tricky. It is a blind corner. We'll go on board with one of the drivers pretty soon to show you what it's like, a full lap. In fact, we'll do that with Craig Broadbent, the current defending champion for SimHaus Racing. On board now with Craig Broadbent, a full lap inside the cockpit, showing you how it's done. Chasing down Paul Robinson in front, and he's got Scott Flack right behind him in his rear vision mirror. Through turn one, now the dog leg into the heavy braking. Will he get down to first gear? No, just settle in the second. Get that car to rotate, get on the gas nice and early. And that's a sprint down the back straight. Paul Robinson just pulling out a little bit there. Able to get on the gas a little bit earlier. Managed to make some room. But watch it as we come through here. Top speed, 260, almost 270 Ks. Down a couple of gears. Get that inside edge going through. We did have witches hats, but they're gone now. And straight line down the second, even first. Get that car to rotate early as Paul Robinson just runs wide there. That's going to cost him a bit of time, allowing Craig Broadbent to close that gap. Then it's the right left onto the main straight. You cannot accelerate too hard here as Craig reduces that speed, and that's a full lap. You can see a driver on the inside there. Not too sure if that's David Baker. Yes, it is. Having a shocking season this year. We hope he gets it together and gets a good result for Bathurst, as he's got the blue flag out, letting the leaders through. It's Paul Robinson, Craig Broadbent, and that is Scott Flack. Rob Logan still in the mix. And up the front, we've got Alex Kittis, Daniel Opedisano. This is for P2. So Opedasano trying to get up the inside of Alex Kidas there. He's got to have to tuck in there. Just see Opedasano closing down into turn one. Oh, just getting up the rear bumper of Alex Kidas as they go down the back straight. Still the battle between Alex Kidas and Daniel Opedasano. Opedasano happy to sit back there, although still trying to put pressure on Alex Kidas to try and force a mistake in that zone. Usually it's this corner coming up right now. We've seen in qualifying a lot of people overshooting that, but these two too good as they take us round on lap 12 of 80. Paul Robinson out by himself now, stretching away from Craig Broadbent, and that is Scott Flack closing in. We'll go through the field now. So that's Craig Broadbent in 5, Scott Flack in 6 there. Rob Logan still in touch, not too far back. Just losing a bit of touch there. Still lapping in the same lap time, although lost almost a full second, 8/10 on that last lap alone. So something must have happened there. James Spotto in 8 has Antonis Paparanopoulos for company now. Antonis absolutely cutting through the field here. As he's charging up through the field, up into P9 from the rear of the field. Antonis doing a fantastic job here. So that's for positions 8 and 9. P10 is Neil Haynes. Then it's Justin Bryce cutting back through the field as well. After that early incident, as we saw on lap 1, turn 2, with David Baker there, he's challenging for P10. Andrew Chalui just further back. Oh, a bit of a lock up there from Neil Haynes there, under pressure. Bryce, what's Bryce going to do around the outside? Oh, he's trying to tuck on the inside as well. It's going to be a drag race down the main straight now. There's Bryce. Will he pull out just before the turn? No, he won't, but Chalui's up there, closing in on this battle as well. Right behind David Baker as well. He's going to be a lap down, but he spins right in front of them. Probably spending too much time. Hearing a bit of chatter here. We're side by side. This is for P2. Kidas defending nice and hard there. We see Operasono putting a lot of pressure on the back of Alex Kiedis. This battle's still going on. Oh, they've come together. Can Daniel push him through? No, he's not. The two have come together. Alex trying to defend. They're battling it out. I can hear them going off on the radio. And Operasono moving up into P2 now. Kiedis down in P6 while trying to defend one position. He's lost about 4 positions there down in P6, and he's got Rob Logan hot on his tails at the moment. This battle here, that's on board with Rob Logan chasing Alex Kiedis. This is a battle for P6 at the moment as we come across the start-finish line. We'll keep watching that, and that's moved everyone round in the field because we've got Broadbent and Flack together as well, looking at the timing screen. And we've also got Paul Robinson on the back of Operasono just up the track. You can see they're almost back to a 4-way battle for P2. Operasono in front. Got a bit of damage there from that incident with Alex Kiedis, and that's really stirred up the order as Wayne Walker already 13 seconds out in front by himself. As Broadbent coming in, the tight left-hander, second gear, P4, just ahead of Scott Flack. And it's Oppo and Paul Robinson coming down the main straight. Paul's very good, been consistently nailing the points all season long. Currently in P4 in the championship. We are only 18 laps into an 80-lap race. And we are yet to see. I'd be looking for the first run of pit stops around lap 25. Of 80, 25 to 30 would be my, Flack just going wide there on top of the ripples. The tyres starting to wear out already after 18 laps. Depending on the compound, the guys might be running hards, but the majority would be doing super softs, trying to stretch that tyres out. But it's going to be the fuel that determines the pit strategy tonight. Well, we've got Antonis Papanopoulos has just spun there. Oh, he's just run it wide, chasing Spotto. And unfortunately, that's him. Oh, and he hasn't set reverse, so he's stuck there. Oh, he's going to have to retire from that position. He won't be able to get out there. He can't get the car in reverse. And unfortunately, that's him retired. That's a shame for Antonis Papanopoulos, showing a great speed early on, getting up, into almost P8 from P15. as we're watching Wayne Walker out in front now. Let's go. Daniel Opatisano just passing Troy Cieslawski, and Paul Robinson hopefully gets in there as well, as Troy will always give way to the driver at his own detriment, as we saw him just clip the wall, and there is damage, so that will affect his racing for the rest of the race. And Scott Flack has made the move on Craig Broadbent. So a lot of positions have moved around here while watching Antonis pull out. Alright, so Scott Flack just running wide there on turn 1. Broadbent still in the chase. And here comes Alex Kiedis closing in on these two, with Troy Cieslawski just in front here. So Wayne Walker out in front. Daniel Opatisano 13 seconds back in P2. And then it's Paul Robinson. And these guys on screen now. Scott Flack, P4, Broadbent, then Kiedis come in. We'll come back to this battle pretty soon. We've got Rob Logan in the mix as well. James Spotto's got Neil Haynes for company very soon, as the gap is only... Oh, it's gone out to 9 seconds, so that's blown out a fair bit now. So it's Justin Bryce now chasing Neil Hines for P9. Okay, looks like we've got Troy Cieslawski in the middle of Scott Flack and Alex Kiedis, but he'll soon move out as Kiedis will try and use the draft. On board with Alex Kiedis charging down Scott Flack in front, coming through turn 1 now, taking that inside curb, letting it roll out, getting on the gas. Got to brake hard down in second gears, takes the right left switch, dogleg, and a bit of a squirt before getting the car to rotate. And it's a big sprint down the back straight, top speed, as we saw before, about 270 kilometers an hour. Probably faster now that the fuel load's dropping off. 260, 269 before we get in the braking zone. Taking that nice and beautifully into the left-hander. Closing in on Scott Flack now. That is for P4. Broadbent had a mishap and has fallen down. Still in P6, but he's further down. Another 14 seconds behind this gap here. And we haven't seen Eric Chantra on track at the moment. He's out on P9 for HM Engineering. And DeWalt. Justin Bryce just in front as well. So that's for position. So it looks like Broadbent's dropping into the pits now. So we'll see how quick his pit stop is. Currently in P6, he's already dropped down to P9. And that is lap 23. Bit early for this for this one, which means we could be looking at a 4-stopper or a 3-stopper for Craig Broadbent. As he comes out pretty early. So that's a nice quick stop. I'd say that's for tyres only. Not much fuel in that stop. As he rejoins in P10, just ahead of Andrew Chalui. Just sliding through turn 1 there. Got a couple of DNFs as we saw Antonis Papanopoulos getting stuck into the wall there, unable to get it in reverse, and he had to retire. And then we've got David Baker as well. Not having the best season this year. Hopefully he can pick it up. But Andrew Chalui starting. So we're watching Wayne Walker out in front. Absolutely dominating the race so far. Opadasano comes through. So too Paul Robinson. And that's Chalui coming into the pits. And he's coming in for 4 sets of tyres and fuel. That's a lot long. I can't see the car going up for tyres, but he'll be coming in for a big dump of fuel. Hopefully getting him to the end. Okay, looking further around the track, it's very spread out at the moment. We've got Haynes and Cieslawski for position. This is battle for P11. Cieslawski closing in Neil Haynes at the moment. Rob Logan, his teammate, up into P9. Just dropped back a fair bit. He might have come in for pits. Chalui defending off. No, this is Chalui being lapped from Rob Logan, who's in P9 at the moment. Going around for another couple of laps, Rob Logan. Okay, so Chalui defending or trying to stay out on fresh tyres ahead of the lap cars as we see Justin Bryce in the pits now. He's coming in for a quick stop, so that looks like fuel. Not much tyres there on that stop. Coming through pit lane, Wayne Walker also in the pits, we can see there. Just waiting. That looks like a full load of fuel. And he rejoins. He'll be coming out in P4. Oppo, Robinson and Flack going through for the top 3 as he comes out. So once the other guys start coming in, we'll be able to see how it relates. Wayne Walker currently in P4. That means Oppo is out in front and he's defending against Robinson, and they're both in the pits now. This will be very good to see what the pit strategy is as we come into pit lane. 40 kilometers an hour. Pit limiter is on. The guys should have their pit stall up towards the front too, because they qualified right near each other. Oh, Paul just stuttering there to get in. He's going to lose a bit of space. Here comes Scott Flack as well. So we'll stay with this one. Looks, my guess is Oppo is going to be leaving pit lane. As we see Wayne Walker just coming down the start-finish line, regaining his top spot. It's a long stop for these boys. This is a full load of fuel in the middle of the race. We're 30 laps down of 80, 50 to go. And it's Robinson who's out first. I'm sure Oppo's coming out as well. And all 3 of them are coming out right behind each other. What a great pit stop for Paul Robinson, gaining a spot there. And Scott Flack gaining some time as well. Looks like he didn't get off the pit limiter early enough, like Paul and Daniel, but this will be a great battle. So that's Paul Robinson rejoining. Let's say that's virtual P2, 3 and 4 behind, but at the moment James Spotto up into P2, yet to pit. We'll see if he comes in this lap, otherwise he's going to go out for a couple more laps. Oh, he'll be out to take P2. And that means Rob Logan is now defending hard against Craig Broadbent. This is for position P3, and that is Alex Kittis as well. So, oh God, these guys are going to have to pit pretty soon because we've seen Broadbent pit already, but Kittis is still out there. We can actually see what tyre compound these guys are on at the moment. And if you look at your screen, we've got Wayne Walker on the Supersoft. Pretty much the entire field on Supersoft, other than Spotto and Haynes, who are on the soft, which is a bit of a harder wearing compound, but not giving them the same amount of grip and speed as the others. So it looks like the Supersofts are lasting a full load of fuel here, otherwise they would have gone a bit harder compounds. Or they're using this first section of the race to actually judge. Oh, Broadbent just behind Logan now. Up under the back bumper of Rob Logan, currently in P3. I'm sure Broadbent is on fresher tyres here. And that is Kittis in Broadbent's window as well. Revision mirror, I should say. Down the straight, it's closing. So they come through turn 1 in 2nd, 3rd and 4th. And then we go back to Paul Robinson defending against Oppo. Further back, there's the group there. Scott Flack trying to get on the back there. Paul Robinson up on 2 wheels, losing a bit of position. Opposano now trying to put the squeeze. And we're looking out the window of Opposano. If Paul Robinson was to look over, he'd be able to see the big Worth Camaro just take that position. And that brings Scott Flack into the fold as well. So Rob Logan now under pressure from Craig Broadbent. Down the main straight. Craig's going to get the... Oh, Logan's come over. Just tried to squeeze out the inside line. That's a kid-ass move, that one. And Broadbent almost got caught out, but Logan just running hot. Logan's going to have to come in for tyres this lap. He's not able to stay out there much longer. They are on lap 32. That's an impressive run on a set of tyres. He's defending at the moment, but he's going to come under fire if he tries to hold out any longer. Maybe he's trying to make it just a 2-stopper, where Broadbent's got to make it a 3-stopper, because his tyres are about 10 laps old now, as he came in on lap 22, 23. My guess is Logan will come in if he overshot turn 2 here. This is where half the field is, down the back straight. Logan all over the place here. Is he going to come in the pits? No, he's going to stay out for a lap longer, so he's going to want to defend. Got Craig Broadbent up in the slipstream. These V8s really... Oh, he's faked the outside and gone inside and under brakes. Just sliding through there. Doing all he can, closing in. Look at that gap. He'll try to get up the inside, get on the gas early, but Logan nice and smooth on that accelerator. Broadbent still in the slipstream now. Here he comes. Who's going to win this battle? Rob just sliding out there. Beautiful car control. Protect that inside line. He's got 4 cars here. Great racing here at Sandown. And there's the battle behind. Opposano getting past Paul Robinson. And he's going to want to get on the back of this group pretty quickly. We know Kiddas is coming in the pits already. I don't think the Chilui is in for position there, as he's currently in P13. Rob Logan's doing a fantastic job in P2, defending till his heart's content. He must be sweating bullets defending this field. Look at them coming close. This will allow Opposano to bridge this gap too. If you can see, the gap from Oppo to Kiddas is only 3.9 seconds. We're just stretching out to 4. Nice and strong through here. Broadbent's got no answers for Logan at the moment. Current defending SimHaus V8 champion for 2023. He's got no answers at the moment for Rob Logan, and he is on older tyres. If he's already done his pit stop, then this will be very impressive. I'm assuming Logan hasn't come in, although we can see a pit stop counter. That's not always accurate, so I'll just bring it up, see if we can see who's actually pitted. Yeah, it's showing Oppo hasn't pitted. So that is for position for Rob Logan. He has come in. We know Kiddas and Oppo has come in. So this is for actual position. So my apologies to Rob Logan. This is very creditable drive from him. He must have done a stellar pit stop to get himself up into the field and challenging genuinely for P2. And he's definitely showing that he's got what it takes as he's defending against last year's, well, this year's defending champion. So we can see Oppo, Robinson and Scott Flack also chasing now. We're coming up to the halfway mark and the field is closing in. Walker just dominating out front. Rob Logan still under pressure from Craig Broadbent. Alex Kiddas on board now with Alex Kiddas chasing down Craig Broadbent, and that is Rob Logan up front. We are on lap 37 of 80, not even halfway, and the action is definitely heating up after the first run of pit stops. Kiddas just guiding it through there, not burning his tyres, but closing in under brakes there. Look at that gap. He's just closed. And he's got Chalui behind him as well. I think I saw someone going to the pits on that lap. That looks like Troy Cieslawski coming in for his pit stop. And that's a penalty for Justin Bryce. And that may be for not allowing the leader to come through. Do apologise, there's no actual safety car, just doing some admin for Justin Bryce there, who received a penalty. He did yield, but not quick enough for the stewards, but we've overridden that. Hope you're enjoying the action here at Sandown. If you are, give us a thumbs up and a like. Make sure you subscribe as well. Hit that subscription button and the notification bell. Tell us where you're watching from, who you're supporting. Are you enjoying the stream? And are you enjoying this beautiful track from Andrea 1968? If you want this track, the link is in the description. Click on that. It's a paid content, so make sure you make a small donation to the modder and enjoy this circuit. It is a beautiful circuit to drive and to or compete. So we've got Kiddas now moving up into P4. Oppo's starting to pull away, but it's Robinson and Flack. Flack just giving way there. And Flack moving up into P5. Poor Robinson just dropping back. Wants to run his own race, just make it to his next pit stop as we are on the halfway mark. Oh, Chalui in the background. All I saw was a green spinning top. And there he goes. Andrew Chalui coming down into the dog leg. Comes through, we've got Broadbent. Chalui just bouncing around. Oh, Chalui. Oh. So it looks like Broadbent just tapped the back of Chalui there. It looks like we've got Chandra and Bryce racing for position. This is P8 and P9. Eric Chandra for HM Engineering and Justin Bryce. This is P8 and 9. On board now with Justin Bryce chasing down Eric Broadbent just in front in the yellow DeWalt car for HM Engineering. Oh, you could just hear Bryce extending that accelerator. But we'll go back to the front because Opposano out in front. This is Rob Logan out in front of Daniel Opposano, side by side. And it's still going to be Rob Logan. Oh, Kidass up on the inside, side by side. Oh, look at them bumping into each other. No love lost between these two. Oppo deciding just to let him go. Oh, and Logan back in the pits. So it's Kidass, Opposano. Opposano better to chase behind Oppo. Chandra in the pit as well as Broadbent. We saw Broadbent in the early 20s coming in. So yes, he's going to come in for another set of tyres and fuel, it looks like. So this battle here on screen is for position 2. That is Alex Kidass back in a P2. That is because Oppo has just let him go through. Rather be safe to stay on track than be facing the wall, facing more damage to that car, which they would have received. Car exiting pits. So it's the front of the field, other than Wayne Walker, who's just gapped the rest of the field by 46 seconds at the moment. So it looks like Chandra's pitted and rejoining P10 behind James Spotto in 9. And Rob Logan rejoins in P8. So it looks like Logan will come in for a couple extra pit stops. So he was probably towards the end of his first pit stop when we saw him battling it out for P2. But until he came into the pits, he was up in a position 2 for pretty much most of that section of the race there. This is the closest battle on track. As we reach halfway, it is Wayne Walker out in front, crossing the start-finish line. Then in P2, it's Alex Kidass, Daniel Opposano, that is Scott Flack behind him. Paul Robinson just further back there now, settling into P5 at the moment. Justin Bryce is up into P6 after a couple of horrible corners on P1, lap 1. He's recovering up into P6 at the moment. Then it's Craig Broadbent after his extra pit stop. He's had 2 now, and he's in P7. Rob Logan coming in for his second pit stop is rejoining P8. Then it's James Spotto in P9 across the start-finish line. Eric Chandra down the start-finish line as well. He's in this mix. If he tries to stay with the faster guys, he's going to get closer to James Spotto, and that's what he's doing. He's trying to keep the pace of these guys and soon close in on Spotto, that's Czeslowski in the dirt giving way to everybody. In P11, it's Neil Haynes coming across the start-finish line now. We can see the gaps between the drivers. And then Andrew Chilui in P12. Unfortunately coming together with Broadbent there. And then Czeslowski down the back straight there in P13. Okay, so back to the battle up front for P2. It is Kidas, Obatasano, Flack, and that is Chandra trying to stay with him as well. And Robinson right behind him. So a big cluster on the front side of the track coming down the main straightaway now. Very short pit entrance, so if you're pitting in front of all these guys, it's very awkward to try and get off the racing line and get that speed reduced to 40 kilometers an hour before you cross that pit entry line. It's Kidas, then Obatasano in the Worth Camaro entry. And it's Scott Flack in the Superflow, DeWalt, Eric Chandra and Paul Robinson. Well, I can see Chandra trying to challenge Flack there. So the cars this year are very, very touchy, very hard car to control. We know from the 2020 cars that we were using before this one, completely different. Not the most enjoyable car to drive. And it is very similar to real life. Chandra tucking in the draft there of Scott Flack. Doesn't want to get in the way, but he's just trying to get himself closer to Spotto up in P9. And the gap is only 4.2 seconds there. So the guys doing the best they can on with these cars. The tyres are actually lasting quite a bit now as we've changed. Just go up with James Spotto. He's letting Kidas by. He's moving out of the way for Obatasano as well. James Spotto, great sportsmanship there. Down the main straight they go. Chandra trying to tuck right in behind Scott Flack. Will he try and make the position? If he does, he's going to be given blue flags. That is not for racing position, but Chandra is racing the Red Bull right in front of him, and this battle right there, that is James Spotto and Eric Chandra challenging for P9. We are 48 laps into this race, just over 30 laps to go. Spotto right beside him, and he's got that position done. So he's trying to stretch that lead out in front of Spotto as Flack's going to come round, and these guys are going to receive blue flags as Flack is coming round to lap these two, but they're trying to hold out and wait for Flack to pit again, and that won't be until around lap 55. Oh, sounded like Spotto just... Oh, no, that was Oppo just locking up into there. Oppo starting to charge down Kidas now. He's let Kidas out there for way too long. Time to bridge that gap, and it is just under a second. If you like the stream, make sure you've already subscribed and hit that notification bell. We race regularly through the year. Our next big one after this is Bathurst, so stay tuned for the dates on that one. This is our first Enduro for the year, hence the 80 laps. So Justin Bryce hanging in the P7 at the moment, just bouncing around there. I saw Broadbent, that's for position. So that's P6, Broadbent going through there now. And Justin Bryce just staying with him. I can hear on the radio, Bryce just had a bit of trouble there. Lost a bit of time to Broadbent, but Rob Logan is closing this gap as well. So up the front, Wayne Walker still dominating out front. We haven't given him much airtime. He is dominating at the moment, lapping in the 109s. So too is Alex Kiddas right behind him, and Opedasano lapping in the mid 109s as well. Wayne Walker with the fastest lap of the race so far, a 107.664. And that is almost a full half second faster than the next driver behind him. So I can hear James Spotto, think that's coming in pit lane now. It is James Spotto coming in the pits. We saw him struggling as Chandra was chasing. And now he's coming in for his pit. So there's 30 laps remaining. Can the guys pit now and make it to the end on a full tank of fuel? There's 131 litres per tank. As we'll go through the field now, Wayne Walker out in P1. There he is. Alex Kiddas in P2. Almost a full lap in front. And he's got Daniel Opedasano keeping him for company. And Scott Flack is in P4. And Paul Robinson right behind him. That is for P5. So the gap there now is closing in 2.6 seconds. So he's trying to hold with Scott Flack and wait and pounce. Maybe his best chance is to undercut him on the next pit stop and do a short dump of fuel. These guys should be calculating the fuel loads now and the fuel burn. So on the last lap, they don't want to put too much fuel in. They're going to waste too much time sitting there in pit lane, and they're going to be carrying way too much weight in the vehicle if they're going to try and make it to the end. They just want enough to get them across the start-finish line. They don't really need the victory lap afterwards. Anything more than that is a waste of weight and slowing lap times. So they need to calculate as much as best they can before their last pit stop. All right, so that's Paul Robinson in P5. Where is Craig Broadbent? That is Broadbent coming through turn 1 now. And then Justin Bryce through James Spotto in turn 1. P7 that. Now P8 is Rob Logan. So he's coming into the back straight now. And that gap, if you're paying attention, is 10 seconds to Justin Bryce in front. Then we've got Eric Chandra in with the faster guys trying to stay out of everyone's way. He did overtake Paul Robinson, just going wide there in the background. Chandra's got to stay away and not receive blue flags, otherwise he will be penalised. Seen a couple of guys being shown the unsportsmanlike flag for not yielding to blue flags. Chandra's got to just either pull up pretty soon and let Scott Flack go. As I saw Opedasano flash in front. That is too. So we'll go through the field. Neil Haynes in the top 10 at the moment, and he is defending that position by 12 seconds ahead of Andrew Chilui in the Castrol Ford Mustang. Then it's James Spotto after his pit stop. he'll be recovering, and his lap times are flying. He's on his personal best in the first sector. We'll just see when he crosses the second sector if he lights up the screens again in green. Not to be, but I can hear a slower car just in front. Sounds like they're in the dirt. Not too sure who it is. Oh, that's Chalui. That's for position. He's just lost another position, Chalui. So Spotter goes through to take P11. All right. Oh, and Bryce. So I just heard Justin Bryce struggling on tyres coming into that last section. Think he loops it coming out of here. Oh, he does too. Just manages to save it. And he goes straight into pit lane. As he's now in pits, waiting for it. This should be his final stop. Should be there for fuel. As he joins. Wayne Walker, the leader, is in for his last set. So too Alex Kidas. So Walker's got to tuck in his spot ahead of Wayne Walker. And Kidas in for his last pit stop. So Kidas just unlapped himself in the pit lane there. So whereas Opposano, he's down the back straight. And Wayne Walker should be leaving pit lane pretty soon, as Opposano is coming round, almost going to take the lead away from Wayne Walker. But Wayne Walker leaving the pit lane now. We should see in the background Daniel Opposano coming across the start-finish line. So this is for position, as it looks like Scott Flack is in pit lane as well now. So out in front, that's Wayne Walker. Opposano right behind him. Turn one. Oppo's seeing the blue car in front. Now he's on the charge. The gap only down to 3.5 seconds. But Walker's going to be on fresh boots. And there he goes in the foreground. While Flack comes in. And that's going to undercut Opposano. So Opposano needs to look out now, as Flack's very good on pit strategy as he competes in the International Formula One Series overseas, having to get up at 2 o'clock in the morning and race with all the Europeans in the Formula One car. But Flack dropping down to P6 at the moment. That should be enough fuel for the end of the race. We've only got 25 laps to go. That's a full stint of tyres. So we'll see if anyone's switched tyre compound, including Scott Flack. No, he stayed on Super Soft. That is the quickest and softest compound you can get. And Wayne Walker right behind him. So he's managed to stay out there and not be lapped by Wayne Walker just in time. And Wayne Walker struggling with, I think that's Rob Logan. Yes, that's Rob Logan out in front. That's in P7, Rob Logan. Oh, just coming together there. That's okay. A bit of a bump. Okay, so Rob Logan out in P7 still. Is coming to the pits. He's coming in for his last set of tyres and fuel, as Opposano is 4.9 seconds back. Paul Robinson, his closest rival, is coming down the main straight. So there's got a bit of time there now, but Opposano really needs to come in the pits, as we see Kidas charging through now. We know he's already had his last pit stop, and that is No, I thought it was Flack, but it's not. There's Flack there. It must have been Czeslowski in the dirt in the red car. I saw in the background. You can see how similar they are from the front, as Czeslowski's sporting the Shell Helix car. Okay, so Oppo, is he going to pit this lap? He really should come in with 23 laps to go. Or is he going to stretch this set out to the end? I'm not too sure if he's going to make it on fuel. Here he comes in. Is he going to come in? No, he's going to keep staying out. As Wayne Walker posts the fastest lap of the race so far in his fresh set. That's a 1:07.370. Track starting to rubber up now. That last sector for him really cemented that fastest lap of the race. So double points tonight for the drivers. Being an enduro race, we're awarding double points. So it's very important to make it tonight if you want to cement your position in the championship. And if we've got time, I'll bring the in-race standings so you can see at home who's who. And it's Wayne Walker leading the championship at the moment with his teammate Alex Kittas on 1:17. So the way it's going at the moment, and we'll look at Alex Kittas behind Craig Broadbent. That is for position. That's for P4 now. So that's a battle. While we talk about the standings at the moment, Paul Robinson's actually third in the championship. I did mention early in the night he was fourth, but he's been banking some real solid points to cement himself on the third step of the podium at the moment with a 1:04, and he'll solidify that too. So it's a battle between Robinson and Broadbent. Broadbent the better tonight, as Robinson is now in the pits for his last stop. So if we look at Broadbent, this is where Paul Robinson needs to measure himself, and we will watch this as Kittas is there as well. So Robinson in pit lane, then we're going to watch the guys just go past him as they go past the start finish line. Robinson dropping down to P5 now, so that'll be a lot of work for Robinson to catch up on as he exits. Robinson still in the pits, getting that fuel. Does he need that amount of fuel? But he's out now, rejoining just behind Scott Flack in P6, ahead of Chandra. Actually behind Chandra, as Chandra just goes through the screen now. So here's Opedasano, he's now in the pit lane. So that's 4 tyres he's got to change. And where are the leaders? Wayne Walker is around the back, but we're looking for Craig Broadbent. He's coming around the start-finish line, and that means Opedasano needs to keep an eye on the drivers, as we'll see Broadbent go through there, Kittas as well. So Oppo's losing a lot of time there, and that's because he didn't pit early enough. If he's still in pit lane, it's going to cost him a lot of time. And he's coming out ahead of Scott Flack, Troy Czeslowski, and that's Wayne Walker as well. So Oppo's got a lot of work to do to regain a few spots. We'll go back with Kittas, who's on the back of Broadbent here. Rob Logan in the front there in P10. No, that's Neil Haynes in the Truck Assist, teammate of Rob Logan. So it's all going on here now. This is for position. Trying not to touch the back of Broadbent. Very sketchy corner there. A little bit of a touch, and that'd send Broadbent around. He's going to go up the inside. I can see it. There he goes. Oh. So that's another driver Kittas has come under fire with. So I see Kiddas coming up the inside and just taking out Broadbent. We can see Broadbent coming in the pits. He's had to stop for another set of tyres. He wasn't going to make it through. So Broadbent rejoining out in P7. So he's dropped back a fair bit after that knock, but that first incident cost him a pit stop there, so that's cost him the race. So he's dropped down a fair bit. Won't be able to catch Paul Robinson for the championship points. So Scott Flack defending against Opposano now. This is where the race is at. This is for P3 now, chasing Scott Flack on board with Opposano. They've got their fuel and tyres for the rest of the race, so it's all-out war between these two. This is the closest battle as Chandra comes in the pit now for his last stop, dropping down the field as Bryce goes through in P8, Logan up into P7. Trying to tuck in the draft of Scott Flack. He's just going to keep it cool for a couple of laps. Oh, close under brakes there. Nice and patient as we're looking under the rear of Scott Flack. Watch for Opposano under brakes here. No, Flack's closed that off. We've only got 16 laps to go towards the end of the race, and this is the new battle for P3, Flack and Opposano. Flack getting a nice run out of there, but Opposano is going to be in the draft pretty soon as we'll see him close in. He's just got to tuck in higher, tighter, and watch him under brakes. Fly up the inside. No, Flack a bit better under brakes on that one, but he's run wide. And that's the position gone. So Opposano moving up into P3, Flack down to P4. He tried to brake deeper. He knew he was weaker in that spot from the lap before, and he tried to brake deeper to make up for it, but that just meant he ran a bit longer and unfortunately losing that position. Let's hope he can stay with Opposano for P4. Paul Robinson a further 19 seconds back. So the early pit stop really working for Flack to get a position on Robinson, but Opposano managing to regain his track position. Hopefully there's enough laps to catch Kiddas for the Opposano team, as there's gaps of 8 seconds with 14 laps to go. You want about half a second, if not more, per lap faster. And I can tell you from the timing screens, he is almost a second faster on Alex Kiddas at the moment. So Kiddis is down the back straight and Opposano is coming onto the back straight, and that would be the gap for P2 with 14 laps. Let's watch that timing screen over the next few laps to see how they go. Chandra and Spotto out on track again at the moment. This is another battle for P9 and the top 10. Chandra trying to tuck into that draft. Very beneficial, as you can see there. Just gingerly coming through there. Will he come under brakes? Brake earlier and switch over. Oh, he's gone high on the ripples. Look how much time it's cost him. Just that little excursion up onto the ripple strip. Oh, Chandra nice and strong through there. Almost touching Spotto. Spotto very ginger through there. Chandra showing him where he's stronger around the circuit as he tucks in again down the main straight. Spotto very good under acceleration. Bring it in for turn 1. Keep it nice and tight. Up the inside. Oh, he's just bumped it wide. Oh, he's almost got the grasp, but he's managed to recover. So that's a battle for P9 we'll keep an eye on. But, oh, Rob Logan in the pits again. He'll probably have to do a splash and dash, or he forgot to put fuel in. That's going to cost him a fair bit. But where is Opposano to Kidas? He's brought it down a 6.9 second gap because he stretched that gap to Scott Flack in the background. Stretched that out to 2.3 seconds already. Rob Logan needs to get out in the next 6 seconds. Here he comes, and that'll be battle for position. The two guys coming down the main straight. This will be a three-way battle for P8. All right, so this is going to get saucy and spicy. Spotto on hotter tyres. Rob Logan still needs to get him up to temp, even though he's on fresher tyres. Chandra almost clipping the back of Spotto. Had to avoid by going out wide. So this is another 3-car battle we're watching. This is for P8 now. Looking on board from Rob Logan down back towards James Spotto. Rob Logan getting those tyres up to temp, taking that section nicely, closing under brakes. Should be able to get out of this corner a bit quicker than the guys behind as they're on slightly older tyres. Oh, it looks like a yellow in sector 3, but that's been cleared. And that's where we're in at the moment. Oh, just bringing up a bit of dust there. But come down the main straight now. Rob Logan, P8, James Spotto, Chandra. Rompo with Chandra up the inside. Is he going to get it done? No, he just be patient. Get him on the exit, trying to get up the inside if he goes left. There he goes. Oh, he shows the nose. Spotto balked. Oh, up on 2 wheels. Oh, they've come together. Unfortunate for Spotto, but he's hit the deck. Alright, so coming out of turn 1, we could see him trying to defend, turned in early, but he's just clipped the ripple, and that's launched him up in the air. Chandra had nowhere to go, and unfortunately that is Spotto falling back. Okay, let's recap. We've got Kidas in P2, still safe with Opposano because Oppo hasn't made any advancement on there as he comes through turn 1 down into the dog leg through turns 2 and 3. Very tricky section here. And then Scott Flack in the background for P4. Then Paul Robinson coming through the main straight. That is the gap with a late pit stop. That's cost him a fair bit of time, but Kenny Gain, just looking at the timing screen, he's lapping the same time as Flacky, so he's not really making any moves up for P4 at the moment. Broadbent. Robinson and Broadbent are 3rd and 4th on the table, and they are side by side in the points here as well. As Broadbent just a bit rough over that ripple, bouncing all over the place. Hard to get the traction down when you're bouncing through the curbs there. Justin Bryce trying to stay up in the top 10, doing a good job so far. Cementing P7 at the moment. Nice and safe there. With 9 laps to go. Kidas right behind him. Rob Logan in P8, as we've established before. Eric Chandra further back has dropped back from Rob Logan. And Spotto only dropping a couple of spots there. Still in the top 10. Then it's Neil Haynes in the truck assist. Being quite solid around the top 10. Currently in P11 at the moment. Don't think he needs to make another pit stop, so he could be quite safe in that position as well. Neil Haynes in P11. Then Andrew Chalua, we haven't seen him for a while, but there he is. He's had a couple of spins, couple of offs. He's managed to keep it on and should bring home P12 at the moment. And then it's Troy Cieslawski doing a solid job in P13. All right, Wayne Walker leading the championship, dominating the championship, almost lapping P2. That's P2 in front of him. So that's not for position. These guys are teammates for Wayne's World Motorsport. Oh, Chalui in the background. Just see what happens with Andrew Chalui. Goes wide outside turn 1. Comes into turn 2 and 3. Does he hit the ripple again? No, he's just sliding, trying to hold it. That ripple, too much for him. Oh, just puts the brakes on towards the end there and stops in front of the camera. So Wayne Walker, race leader, dominating from green almost to checker. We're not there yet. We've still got 8 laps to go. Anything could happen between now and then. But for now, he's been dominating, lapping in the 108s. Same as Alex Kidas, nice and fast. But Alex Kidas has got a question mark over his result as it is under investigation. So stay tuned for that result. Kidas trying to tuck in behind Bryce. He's trying to give way so he doesn't receive a penalty. Again, for not yielding on blue flags. So that's Wayne Walker, Alex Kidas. Then it is Oppo Desano coming down the back straight as well. So that gap down to 6.7, but that's not going to be enough and not quick enough to gain that position for and threaten Alex Kidas. Wayne Walker might even protect Kidas from coming under fire from Oppo Desano late in the game. It looks like Flack is still in touch with Oppo. He hasn't dropped him too much. 3.8 seconds back. There he is. That's the gap. That's what 3.8 seconds looks like on the circuit as he's in P4. Paul Robinson still further back in P5. What we'll do, we'll go on board with Paul Robinson for a full lap of the circuit in his POV. Let's see how Paul Robinson does it in P5 for Paul Robinson Racing. Coming down the main straight, should be braking around the 100, just before the 100 mark. Down to 3rd. Nice and smooth through there, letting it roll out, settling it down to 2nd gear. Through this dog leg, just take the curbs. Settle the car down, get the front end in, get the grip in for the sharp left hand. 2nd gear, out of there, 3rd, 4th, 5th. Should be getting the top end of 6. 260, 270 kilometers an hour. 260, 262, Down to fourth gear, just through the S's here. And straight line braking down the second, maybe first if they struggle and start braking later. Nice rotation out of there in second gear up to third. Quickly into fourth, down to second gear here for the quick right. And then maybe dip the brake and then turn left. Guiding it all the way onto the circuit. Nice lap from Paul Robinson. Very nice, and thank you for taking us around for a full lap of Sandown Raceway. So I'm looking at the timing screen. Everyone seems to be spread out quite a fair bit, although it's just sector in yellow in sector 1. Not too sure who that is. We'll see as we come around the corner. And that's Chalui again, struggling on that corner. That's almost 2 laps in a row that he's done that. Craig Broadbent just further back, just sitting behind James Spotto there in the Red Bull car. I think Spotto will give way to Broadbent as he goes wide, letting Broadbent through. Not too sure if Broadbent dipped the front end in there. This is not for position, as Broadbent is in P6 and Spotto in P10. Just trying to give way at the best spot without losing too much time. And there he goes. Once again, Spotto moving over in a nice position. Current defending champion in P5, P6 at the moment. Looks like Chalui rolling into pit lane at the moment. Struggling on those tyres. Didn't really want to pit with 4 laps to go, but he has to get to the end. And through he goes. Okay. So Wayne Walker coming to pits. Looks like Kiddas in the pit lane. How is that possible? Kiddas with 4 laps to go did not make it to the end. Opposano through, Scott Fleck through. There's no way Kiddas is going to make that back. Is this a splash and dash? What is it? Looks like a drive-through. As he rejoins, he's in P4. Right, so Scott Flack circulating in the 109.3s. So too is Opposano. Opposano just getting through on JB, Justin Bryce from Service Australia. So I thought Oppo was out of the game there when he had to pit late in the game, but I've seen it before. He's pitted late, but he's left himself just enough time to charge through and get that place back. Wayne Walker ahead of him, but he's actually a lap ahead. So these guys have only got 1 to 2 laps to go to the end of the race. It's been a long race, 80 laps around here, 90 minutes. Thanks for tuning in. Looks like Oppo's got some fans on YouTube there. Good evening to Ross Licciardi. Hopefully we'll see him back out on track pretty soon. So Opposano coming through turn 1. Wayne Walker probably leading us around. No, it won't be the last lap just yet, because that lap timer is on Wayne Walker's lap. the rest of the field is actually a lap down. So, Wayne Walker dominating the season so far, and this race no different. He's lapped the entire field, and it's probably an easy thing to do because it is such a short lap. It's only 1:06 per lap, so when you're lapping half a second quicker per lap, it adds up over 80 laps. So great job from Wayne Walker, very dominating all season and especially tonight in quali. This is the final lap for Wayne Walker. That is Daniel Opatisano right behind him. Oh, that is Logan locking up just in front. No, sorry, that was Neil Haynes again, locking up just in front of Wayne Walker. But we'll watch Wayne Walker on the final lap, very deserving. The first Enduro of the season at Sandown, 80 laps, and it is Wayne Walker on the final lap of the race ahead of Daniel Opatisano just behind on the screen there. This beautiful circuit supplied by Andreas 1968 and R Factor 2 modder. Make sure you look him up. Track link is in the description. Go down, hit the subscribe and check it out on his website. It's also released another beautiful circuit in Australia, Newcastle and Townsville, and we used the Townsville circuit earlier on in the year. Very spectacular circuit to use as well. So this is Wayne Walker, checkered flag for him, coming around the final straight. He's going to light it up, and that is the checkered flag. Wayne Walker, Daniel Opatisano P2, and that means Scott Flack will cross the line in P3. Alex Kiddas, after that late pit stop, will finish in P4. Kiddas crossing the line now. Paul Robinson crossing the line for P5 now. That means Craig Broadbent's not too far behind. So Wayne Walker on screen now, celebrating his victory after 80. Oh, there he goes, tandem down the main straight. So the boys giving an expression session down the end of turn 1. Okay. Alright, so session results. After 80 laps, it's Wayne Walker out in P1. Daniel Opatisano P2 after a late pit from Alex Kiddas, dropping a couple of spots. Scott Flack up into P3. Alex Kiddas finishing in P4 there, not where he wanted to be, but there he is. Might come under scrutiny after some investigation. Then it's Paul Robinson finishing in P5. Craig Broadbent finishing P6, just ahead of Justin Bryce. Rob Logan, solid early on in the race, finishes in P8. Eric Chandra, solid all day, finishes ahead of his little rival, James Spotto, in the top 10. P11 was Neil Haynes, ahead of Chilui, who had a late pit stop as well. Then it was Troy Jaslowski, Antonis Paparanopoulos, and David Baker, rounding out the top 15. So if you're watching and keen to see the next race, our next race will be Bathurst on the 9th of October. That's our next Enduro round, so make sure you keep tuned in for that one. Gold Coast will be after that on the 23rd, and then the last race of this season will be at the beautiful Adelaide on the 30th of November, so make sure you stay tuned for that one. If you're watching the NASCARs, make sure you tune in next week as we head to Darlington. We're back to the ovals for that one. So same night, Wednesday night on the 25th, and same time as well, 8 p.m. So make sure you stay tuned for that one. So thank you again for watching, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a pleasure hosting. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you give us a thumbs up, and we'll see you on the next. Round, and that'll be in October for Bathurst. Very excited for that one. Hopefully, we'll get a few more drivers on there for you. We'll see you next time as you tune in. All right. Until then, it's good night from me. Good night.